Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims and welcome to 9-Rip. You knew this was coming because I've been pimping this for a while and I've been wanting to play this for a while. I've been waiting for it to come out. Actually, it was released yesterday. My copy was in the mail, but it came at 5:30 and I was like, I'm not logging on and getting the mail. So I just picked it up today. So we're luckily a little ahead. This is going to post till actually November, to be fair, because we did a short little demo in between finishing our last game and starting this one. But anyway, hi, if you're new here, welcome. I'm Spacey. A couple things we got to get out of the way. I swear a lot, not family friendly. If you're not into that, cool, not offended. You don't have to be here. I'm just warning you in advance. Also, I do all the voice acting myself. We do not listen to the games with the voice acting on. That's usually problematic and stuff like that. We're still towing lines doing these and hoping that nobody gets mad at us for playing these games. But yeah, so if you want to hear the sexy voice acting, that's not what we do here. We keep that off. I read everything, do really awful voice acting, but everybody seems to enjoy it because it's still fun. Even as ridiculous as it is, we do listen to the voice acting at the end, samples of it or anything like that. But if you want the real experience of the game with the voice acting and seeing all of that, highly recommend that you buy the game and you play it yourself. And if you are interested in this game as we start playing it through, again, I would highly recommend buy the game, play it, come back here after the fact. That's what a lot of people do. You know, they'll play the game first and then they come here because this is kind of a joint experience for us. I'm going to be throwing in my commentary, my thoughts and impressions and everything. So what is normally a 60 to 70 hour game is going to take us like 80 to 90 to do. I talk a lot. I will ramble a lot. So if you just want to play the damn game, play it yourself. I'm stressing that, okay? Nobody ever complains because we say this, but, you know, I know that there's a lot of channels out there that will, you know, just autoplay it for you. We don't do that here. We're here to experience the game and my thoughts. And obviously that's what the comments are for. Like when you're thinking of things or agreeing or disagreeing or, oh, actually, if I'm questioning something and I'm not getting it, that's when people will be like, don't you remember like 2 hours ago when this happened? Because probably I don't. So that's what that's for, to remind me of all the things I forget. Also, the thing that I usually forget to mention is, like, you never know when there's going to be spoilers for other games that we've played, because who knows? I've tried very hard, because I know I've done it before. I try very hard to be like, to just vaguely allude to things and be like, if you know, you know, and not spell things out just in case you haven't experienced other games or whatever, but sometimes things will slip, so I do apologize for that in advance, because, like, I just assume you all live in my head. Which is very weird. It's very crowded in here in my man harem. But anyway, playing 9-Rip. So, there are no warnings. We use a guide to play, so we are using Otome Kitten's guides. A+. Don't always agree with her opinions on the characters. We're learning this with the other game we're playing right now, where I'm like, yeah, I'm not seeing this vibe that she's getting from them, but that's the thing. It's everybody's individual personal opinion. So I try not to read those until like after we play the character, just to see how it differs. But 100% always trust her guides because they're perfect. So, I didn't see anything on here. The game does boot up with a kind of a little bit of warning, like there might be some like, it doesn't say questionable content. I forget exactly what it says for the warning because it kind of popped up, but I think it's more like because it's supposed to be quote-unquote horror themes, but it's not like it's a horror game where you're going to be scared out of your wits. And I didn't see any kind of warning on the guide on Otome Kitten's like main review page that says anything specific about like, she'll usually have something that says it's got this content and this and this and this, but just putting it out there, I don't think it's a light, fluffy, quirky, like fun slice of life game, so there could be some questionable themes. Just be prepared. I can't give you the warnings that I don't know that are there, So I'm going in as blind as you are. But if you're concerned about questionable content, try to do that research, figure that out, because I don't have that information. I probably could have done that for you, but listen, whatever. We know I'm a degenerate, so not much phases me at this point, which is sad. Anyway, synopsis of this. They say this town has always been known to have many people be spirited away. They also say that confused people or those struggling are more likely to get spirited away. You think you'll be okay? Fuck no! God, no! I'm gonna be gone in 2 minutes. I'm assuming that's the point. In the beginning of autumn, during her second year of high school, that's what Spacey Ishiki was told by her best friend, causing her heart to skip a beat. Her name is Misa, but we are changing her name to Spacey because we do that here just because it makes it more awkward when we have to tell ourselves that we love us from, like, all of our dead boyfriends, apparently, or whatever the hell's going on here. I'm assuming 9 RIP, I mean. It'll be fine. I don't really believe in that stuff anyway. That's right. She doesn't believe in that kind of thing. It's just, her life had been filled with so much stress, all related to what her future would hold. That's when an eerie voice reached out to her. Why don't we take a look and see what you should do with your life? I'm the one who'll lead you into darkness. And that's when all the strange things around Spacey began to happen. Okay, so I'm just going to read this little synopsis that Otome Kitten also put up. 9 RIP is all about ambience and atmosphere, and I feel like its production team did an amazing job creating a very enchanting, slightly eerie setting with the game's 4 distinct arcs. Okay, so that's going on. Oh, so Yuya is the popular artist. Obviously, she's on Cupid Parasite, Café Enchanté, and we just finished playing Cupid Parasite fan disc. We should have started this right after, but I didn't have the game yet. And we had that fun little side demo to play, so. So in charge of overall art, character sprites, super, okay, so going in like, okay, so that's just all about like art being great and music being good. Okay, so, and then of course we'll skip through, so 4 common routes: school ghost stories, where there's 2 characters, urban legends, 2 other characters, other realm, 2 characters in there, spirit world, 2 characters in there. There's a locked route within the spirit world arc. That's our 9th character. It's supposed to be a secret, but I've kind of already, if you've seen anything anywhere or like on the game case and the Idea Factory International little like chibi card like that they send with the game, like you can see the character. So not 100% of a surprise. So I'm sure if he pops up, it'll be like, oh, that's him. So if, it's not really like, you don't know, you kind of know. So, they kind of did that with Cupid Parasite. You're like, it's kind of obvious. Like, you just, like, the quote, hidden character. Wasn't really hidden, but anyway. If that'll become available only after completing the last 3, Minami, Yukimaru, and Koharu's routes. And, okay. There's no route orders imposed by the developers, and with the game having so many routes available, Otome Kitten mentions, I think it's fine to switch up your play order for the school ghost stories, urban legends, and other realm arcs. You'd want to leave Spirit World for last, though if you're trying to avoid spoilery details on your first playthrough. Okay. However, if you're someone who prefers uncovering the story with minimal spoilers first, especially regarding the heroine's predicament, the causes of her getting spirited away, soft recommended play order, Kureha, Hibiki, Sena, Koyo, Seiya, Minami, Yukimaru, Koharu, and then the final round. So that's the order we're going to go in. I generally trust her route orders. Listen, we might have different opinions on the characters, but again, hi, I might like a character that you hate. You might love a character that I'm like not a big fan of. So like, but I do absolutely like her route orders generally always been spot on. Absolutely trust that. So that makes it sound like I don't trust her judgment of the characters. That's not what I mean. I just mean, like, I know if I go through it, she'll be like, this is the best character. I'll be like, this is not my favorite. But it's a personal preference. So you know what I mean? So I generally try to avoid reading, like, I'll read just the little general synopsis of a character. Like, her little bullet, she always puts, like, 2 little bullet points. And then there's usually a paragraph generically about them. And then her personal, like, thoughts on the character. I don't really read the personal thoughts on the character. I tend to skip not reading that. I don't read that just because I don't want sometimes that has a little bit of spoilers. And then she generally has, like, she'll put a block on there of, like, if it's spoiler or whatever. But I don't want too much given away. But anyway, so we will start, and my freaking tablet just disappeared. Okay, so we'll start with Kureha. Okay. So we'll open that guide up, but we'll actually, from the start now, because we've been here for like 3 hours. Hey, you've heard the stories, right? Kara kara, the sound of metal dragging on the floor. Lost. Forgotten. They say that when the walls of the school are stained the color of blood, he lurks. The sword-wielding, bloodthirsty killer. Kara kara. How did they know we started with Kureha? Because I'm pretty freaking sure I noticed when I looked at her thing, she said, known as Kara kara, the murderous spirit lurking. Narimigama-hai? Narimigama-hai. Narimigahama-hai. I can't, guys! Why you gotta make the longest fucking word ever? Shit, at least there's no French words in here. So anyway, I mean, that's how it starts. Okay, this is extremely hard to motherfucking read. Can I just tell you that? Like, the fact that the text is red on... And, well, I mean, I can see it says kara kara, but, like, what is it? Oh, is this a... Oh, I was trying to figure out what the fuck it says on the left. It just says thought. Why is it not clicking? Okay. Oh, I have to click it. Oh, okay. That's a choice. That makes sense. Listen. I'm not used to, like... That's also... Okay. It's like I've never played a game before. No, but I'm not used to, like, it coming up like that. And I was just very, like, thrown off by the... Yeah, and the glossary words are like... Guys, I play this on my TV. I'm not sitting that far away. I'm like 6 feet from my TV. And my TV's not tiny, but that is really fucking hard to read. Shit. I can't read it even though my computer's closer because my computer screen's way smaller, obviously. You can start by letting your... Okay. Okay, I'm just reading the little notes on this. So, there are 2 happy endings for this route. The godly end and the heavenly end. The rest are bad ends. Okay. 2 good ends! But not like a good end and a normal end where the normal end is not good. Common route bad ending for school ghost stories can be unlocked in this walkthrough. This is in your personal... Okay, and then... Okay. And yeah... So I guess I would have noticed kara kara is like, where you select that, but that's the only option. Anyway, that's right. It's one of the 7 wonders people tell about Narimigahama. Narimigahama. Just gotta get it through my fucking head so when we say it, it just comes out naturally and I don't have to pause every time. But I'm gonna have to pause for a while. Anyway, Narimigahama High School. Narimigahama. The town where the protagonist resides. I'm sorry. Narimigahama, the town where the protagonist resides. A very beautiful town thanks to urban development. It's so convenient, you only get used to it on one train. Oh, you only need to get on one train to get to the city. I'm sorry, I forgot Torgad Spacey. We haven't had a glossary in a while. Narimigahama High, the local high school the protagonist attends. The campus is huge with main and sub-campuses. I promise I can read. I'm not having a good time right now. Having a bad time with reading today. It's quite famous for its 7 wonders. It is occasionally featured on online forums. The 7 wonders sound like it's 7 dead guys, which I'm assuming are our boyfriends. And I don't think the 7 wonders... I mean, props to them for calling it 7 wonders and being like, the 7 wonders! And you mean like the 7 ghost stories? So, whenever a girl walks all alone in the halls, basking in the glow of twilight, she hears that sound coming from somewhere. Kara. The sound of his sword dragging on the ground. But if you hear that sound, never, ever turn around. Oh, we're so gonna fucking turn around. Why? See, now I at least know that these are choices, and yes, select Y. Okay. Because if you turn around, Karakara will ask you, what have I done? Oh my god, and the way the text is. Shit. Well, I figured he gets the accent, so what have I done? It's hard. There's like 8 characters and a secret one that I haven't seen enough. Like I've seen in chibi form and on the cover of the thing, so it's like it's really hard. I don't have that many voices, so. But I'm assuming some of them they're not going to show up in each other's routes and stuff like that, like a normal game. So it's okay if we have sort of similar ones, and we do that anyway, but. And if you can't answer him or give him the wrong answer, he'll take the sword in his hand and. Jesus. A beautiful crimson flower bursts forth. Yeah, that's absolutely a quote-unquote wonder to have at your school. That's a horror story. Oh, no. Don't play the theme song. I don't know if it's good. They didn't play it automatically when I loaded the game, but we can't have that. Copyrighted music and all. Ooh, the text box is pretty. As the setting sun cast a yellow glow over the classroom, a deathly silence fell upon us. We were the only 2 left there. From the field outside, the shouts of the soccer team drifted in, faint as they echoed in our ears. I mean, there is supposed to be sound, but there's really none right now. My best friend, Sayaka Hida, it says Hida, right? With eyes gleaming, leaned forward over her desk. Yeah. Sayaka Hida, the protagonist's childhood friend. At school, the 2 are basically inseparable. Normally bright and energetic, she can also be mentally unstable at times. In tour guide Spacey voice, that's so much better. She also wants to go to Sagan University? Sagan University with the protagonist. She loves the occult. Is Sagan University like an occult university? Well, that was just random. Oh, she's adorable. Right? Pretty scary, huh? Yeah, a little bit, I guess. If he's asking, what have I done? Do you think that means he has amnesia? That's what I always heard, but I don't remember ever hearing why he doesn't remember. But you get that a lot in horror stories. Besides, it's fun to come up with your own reason. Why do you think he doesn't remember? I don't know. I just feel bad for him. Okay, the only thing is, I will say, I noticed an Atome getting like the pros and cons, like she listed a bunch of pros. The con was there's no character sprite for the text boxes. So like normally we'd have a character sprite on the right or the left here. Okay, yeah. All right. And then like the protagonist not being voiced. That's not a con to me because I turn all the voices off. And even if I were playing this on my own, listening to everybody else's voice, I would turn the main character off. Because I want to read it as if I self-insert, unless she's doing shit that I don't, then I'm like, nah, bitch, what that, like, I'm like half and half. Half the time I'm inserting myself into the game like, this is me, we're playing this, it's us guys, we are all this girl. And other times I'm like, this bitch is crazy. What is she doing? So you know what I mean? So having a voice would be weird. I kind of want to read it as if my voice is in my head when I read things. But the one thing I will complain about, why do we not have like I mean, I guess because maybe it's because we haven't quite named our character yet. Because they didn't give you the pop-up in the very beginning to give her a name, so they don't do it. But like right now, yes, we're talking to our friends, so we know. But like, if it stays like this where we don't have our name at the top, how am I going to know when I'm internal monologuing and speaking out loud to a character? Because that's usually what it is. You'll have your name, you'll have Spacey across the top, and that's when you know she's speaking out loud. And then like this, it would be internal monologuing. You know what I mean? I'm guessing maybe they did it because for right now, we'll see what happens. But it just, it's throwing me off. Like, I don't know if I love that. Again, it could just be because we haven't put our name down yet, where we've chosen if we want to leave her base name or change her name. So maybe that's why. But if it stays like this for the whole game, that's going to be kind of disjointing and weird. You know what I mean? I mean, since he died, he's been wandering, searching for his memories. It's sad. He's a murderer too, right? Yeah, but he's hot, so I'm gonna let it slide. Well, yeah, when you put it that way. I mean, I'm pretty sure yeah, he's one of the hot ones, so. They're all drawn beautifully, don't get me wrong, but obviously you've got like cute little baby face ones. And then you've got like ones you're like, okay, no, they're fine. And then you've got the ones that you like, and he's one of the hot ones, if I remember correctly. You said it's one of the school's 7 wonders, but it doesn't really have anything to do with the school. There's all kinds of theories about that. Some say the police chased the killer to the school. Others say that... Her arms waved passionately as she spoke. I couldn't help but smile at her enthusiasm. I'd been friends with Sayaka for longer than I could remember. I just can't keep up with how much she's into all this occult stuff. What's with that face? You can pretend to believe a little, you know. She's mad at us. She's cute. Sorry. I guess I'm just preoccupied right now. Sayaka huffed and pounded her cheeks. I usually did a better job of playing along, but today... we're gonna have to fill our name out on our career path. There you go. I pulled out the survey from inside my desk, and Sayaka's eyes gleamed with surprise. You haven't turned that in yet? Well, I guess it isn't due till next week, so you still have time, but... Is everything okay? Literally me right now, when they give you the things at work, like you have to do your one-pager, basically talking about how awesome you are, and you're like, how do I fucking rate myself? Like, what the fuck? And I'm like, it's not due for 2 weeks, to be fair, for me, but it's one of those, like, how the fuck am I hate filling these things out every year. But it's literally this, you just gotta write down, but you gotta be like, I am the best thing ever. What did I excel at or exceed? And you're like, I don't know. Especially because, like, right now, guys, like, I swear to God, like, I know I do an awesome job at work. Like, I'm not tooting my own horn. I know that. But I sit there and watch people like, oh, this person's so amazing. And I'm like, the fuck? Nobody ever says I'm amazing for doing my fucking job, and I'm the only one that does my job. Somebody else learned it and did like one tiny little thing, but they're like the most amazing person ever for learning this. And I'm like, nobody really gave me this praise for learning it. And they did one teeny tiny little thing that wasn't really that fucking difficult. Okay, fair enough. I mean, you should start with something easy. Absolutely. But you're basically praising them like they're the second coming of Jesus. And I got all of the everything is fucking broken, what the shit that I had to do, and nobody kissed my ass. Like, what the I'm so mad about it. I'm like, especially because the person that they're praising is like the biggest douchebag at work. I hate this person with a passion of 1,000 fiery suns. Literally the biggest sexist asshole. Won't listen. I've asked him questions before when we had to work together, when he was on my team. Nope, I'm not doing that. Yeah, no, we're not doing that. I asked someone else. They're like, yeah, no, we're doing that right here. And I'm like, the fuck does this ass... I'm struggling for a week trying to figure out how the fuck this is happening when all that fucker had to do was actually look it up, but didn't fucking do it. But he's the greatest thing ever. Fucking hate that so goddamn much. Fucking hate it. And now it's like, yeah, great. Now, but guess who's in charge of the shit that we do? Me. So you'll do as I motherfucking say? But I'm like, I know he fucking won't. I know he won't fucking listen. And oh my God. I shouldn't be bitching about my work, but I'm like really, like, I'm just really frustrated with everything about it right now. like I'm a miserable sad sack. Like, I really am. And then you're like, oh, review yourself. I am awful and worthless and useless. That's how I feel, even though I know it's not true. Goddamn. Anyway. This is what we do here. I just need a little more time to think, word. Or avoid it. Time to think? I thought Sagan University was your top choice. It was, but I don't know. I'm just not sure anymore. At least, that's how I feel now. You know, so it's going to be all these, like, questioning doubts and everything, and that's why we get sucked into the other side. But your mom's always saying you're going to Sagan. That's what you agreed to, right? Well, it seems like we're being pressured to go somewhere we don't really know if that's what we want. Like, you're going to be a doctor. You'll be a great doctor. And you're like, I don't want to be a doctor. Also, if you're new here, I have a bird, so we talk to him a lot. Well, yeah, I guess, but... So, where do you want to go to school? Maybe I don't want to go to school. Maybe I just want to cross over to the other side and hang out with my ghost boyfriends. It was September of my second year in high school. A time when all students looked toward their future, and my future stared blankly back at me. Blank sheet, void of any direction. That's pretty poignant for life in general. What can I do? What do I want to do? I still had no answers to these questions. Hey, are you all right? Sorry, just got lost in thought. I could at least write my name on the paper. What you looking at, buddy? You looking at the little nail? Why? Okay. Spacey. Also, I'll give it to Yuya. Okay. Beautiful main characters who don't look like they're 12 years old. You see that in Cupid Parasite. Like, But, like, also, look at, you could see her. She's, like, really tiny down there. But she's absolutely, like, she's still kind of adorable. Like, she's still got the adorableness, but, like, a pretty adorableness. Not like, she kind of looks 12 and then she's going to date these guys who are, like, really gorgeous. And then she, like, looks like she's a toddler. Like, you know what I mean? Where, like, the juxtaposition's weird. You're like, nah. She fits. And she's got this, like, adorableness, but it's, like, a pretty adorable. You know what I mean? Spacey. Name input complete. Proceed. Yos. When I finished writing my name, I let out a small sigh. Only my name. Everything else was blank. Well, at least we got that. My mom's been trying to get me to go to medical school. Oh, what? I threw the doctor thing out there by accident. I just threw it out there because it was pretty standard. I didn't think they were going there, but okay. My mom's been trying to get me to go to medical school at Sagan University for a while now. But I had no desire to do so. So much so that it became uncomfortable to talk with her these days. I really had no idea they were actually going to go there. And so I merely stared at the blank paper. Ah, crap! I totally forgot! I have cram school today! Okay, good. So when she's talking out loud, they do put her name in there, like normal. It was just we hadn't named her, so they weren't going to put, like, question marks or anything. All right. Okay, cool. Makes sense. Sounds like you gotta go. I'll clean up and head out, too. Sorry, I know we promised we'd walk home together. Tell you what, I'll share the grasp of the mirror story tomorrow to make it up. No, you really don't have to do that. I think that's the other character in this. Something about the mirror. Hold on. Let me scroll. Hibiki is spirit haunting the second floor mirror in the school corridor. Okay. There's like little, in the guide, there's always like 2 little bullet points that give you a general overview of the character, her overview. And then there's like the first paragraph or sometimes a text box that'll be like, this is the backstory, the game backstory. Here's the general non-spoilery. And then there's her thoughts. And then she'll have spoilery tagged stuff. But like her thoughts do kind of delve into, sometimes have like minor spoilers for the route. That's why I don't read them. But I'll read those little like, things that tell you about the character. We didn't like read all of them, but anyway. Anyway, see you tomorrow. Oh, and if you hear a katakata on your way home, do not turn around. And be careful of the sword-wielding blood boy. Katakata, the serial killer known as Katakata, is one of the 7 wonders. It's not really their... I love that they went with 7 wonders. Because that's just like, you're putting a little too much light fluff into my murder game. But it's not really a murder game, but still, like, Narimigahama, right? High school. A supernatural being whose entire body is covered in blood. The story says he drags his sword and wanders the halls. Rumor has it that if you sent someone behind you and turn to face him, you'll be slashed by a sword. As full of life as ever. I couldn't help but laugh as Sayaka dashed off in a hurry and placed the blank paper in my bag. Career path survey. Something the protagonist has been stressing about. The due date's drawing near, but she hasn't been able to decide what she wants to do with her future. She feels unable to have a discussion with her mother about it. Did I forget anything? I double-checked inside my desk and left. Whoa! Staring at the scene in front of me, I involuntarily let out a gasp. The walls, the floor, the ceiling. The whole hall was bathed in an eerie golden glow. It looked so different than usual. Whenever a girl walks all alone in the halls, basking in the glow of twilight, she hears that sound coming from somewhere. I'm not sure if that's was supposed to be Sayaka speaking, if it's a narrator voice, or whatever, so I'm just going to read it like us, because who knows. A shiver ran down my spine. This is all thanks to Sayaka's stupid story. I shook my head to compose myself and began to walk slowly forward. I don't know. How fast... I really did too. I was like, wait, did I hear a clink? Ooh! Oh my god, our first CG. I tried to move, but my legs froze. When I left the classroom, I was certain there was no one else in the halls. Or at least, that's what I thought. But I was sure I felt a faint sigh brush past my ear, and a cold chill envelop my body. It's good. It's pretty. I can't believe we got a CG right off the bat. Okay. Also, I will tell you when there's CGs. So if you want to multitask, I forgot to tell you that if you're new. Listen. But yes. Because I know people like to multitask when they are doing things. You're doing art or whatever. That's why, you don't have to read along. I will tell you if you have to read along sometimes. Or you're going to have to rewind back and read along, if it's something I can't control. But I will let you know when there's CGs so you can pop up for multitask and do whatever you're doing. I know some people do art while they're doing this. I am always, putzing around on my computer or whatever when I'm watching other stuff in the background. So, I got you, fam. Okay. Anyway, someone was with me. Yeah, he's pretty. Someone behind me. I was convinced with every fiber of my being. Remember, don't turn around. Actually, maybe do. No, I can't turn around. If what Sayaka said is true and I turn around now, I remained frozen for what felt like an eternity. And I'm assuming we're not going to turn around right now because this is technically a common route and not really... It's not like we chose the different 4 story points where there's certain characters in it. Which one is he part of? School ghost stories. We have not popped into the school ghost story. We're not in a specific, it's not like we chose school ghost stories. So, you know what I mean? So I'm assuming the common route maybe, do you think she kind of runs into all of the fucking ghosts? In the common route? Because girl's haunted. That's a lot of haunting. Shit. I felt a faint breath caress my cheek, and then, as though it were all a dream, it was gone. Fearfully, I turned around to see... Nothing. There was nobody there. But why would you turn around? No creepy ghosts, no sword-wielding killers. And at the same time, the golden twilight had faded, casting the halls into spreading darkness. I guess it was just my imagination. Although, the words slipped out unintentionally. But what if there was a reply from the shadows? The thought filled me with unease. Okay, but here's the thing. So, here's my curious point. These are... Okay, so he's a ghost or whatever. Probably been around for forever. He's probably a fucking samurai or some shit. He's been around for forever, somehow haunting the school. Whatever. But okay, anyway. Cause who the hell carries a sword around? You know what I mean? But anyway, if we're dating all these ghosts, how is it a good ending are we gonna are we gonna end up crossing to the other side? That just seems like a little bittersweet if you think about it. We get to be happy with our ghost boyfriend, but we're also dead in that sense then. So that's kind of sad for our family and our friends. So there's kind of a little sadness that lurks in that good ending. Unless we magically somehow bring our boyfriend back to life. Curious. So Anyway, I need to head home. I hope what they don't do for the good endings, here's the thing. Like, I didn't mind. Okay, slight. No, I'm not going to disclose. Okay, we've had other games where we've had the. You know which game I'm talking about. Like, the whole, like, it wasn't a good ending. I think it was technically. Was it a normal ending or a bad ending or whatever? It wasn't the best ending ever, right? But you've had endings where it's like, oh, you get reincarnated or whatever. And like these boys are dead. So are we going to have like ending? I hope that's not like what they're going to say is like a good ending type of a thing. Cause like, yeah, but also that isn't horrible. But I wouldn't say that's the best thing ever. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's still kind of like that's something good that happens after a bad end. You know what I mean? Like we both like they're tragically already dead. I tragically die and then we get reincarnated or something. I know I should feel like that and then but then we find each other in our next life should sound like a better ending than like, okay, there's ghost guy haunting the school and now I'm just ghost girl haunting the school and then we just haunt the school forever in our afterlives. That doesn't seem like but that to me is a better ending than being reincarnated. I guess I just don't want to forget who I am and who they are, you know what I mean? Like I don't know. Unless that's one good ending and you know, two sides of the good ending trains, but okay, whatever. With my heart racing, I hurried out as fast as my legs would carry me. Prologue. All right. Was that the end of the prologue? Because the two choices we just made said they were in the prologue. But okay. Despite being spooked by every shadow and stranger I encountered along the way, I finally made it home safely. As I flung myself into the house, I realized my back was drenched in sweat. Who's this? Hey, welcome home, baby sister. Okay, it's our sister. Okay. Hi. A wave of relief washed over me when I saw my sister's face. Sister. Tsubasa Ishiki, the protagonist's older sister, a reliable and strong-willed woman with an active personality. The Ishiki sisters both have a tendency not to rely on others for better or worse. I like how her sister is totally fucking blonde, though. Like, which parent did you take after? Why are you so out of breath? Wait, don't tell me there's some pervert stalking you. In a sense, maybe. Huh? Son of a... Let me at him! Where is he? Wait a minute! She's adorable. I grabbed her arm to stop her, but she moved with such force that she ended up dragging me. Don't try to stop me! I'm not just gonna let some guy who tried to scare you get away with it! Sorry, no, it's not like that. Sayaka told me a ghost story and it really creeped me out. That's why I ran home. But you said there was someone stalking you. Well, when I left school today, I just had this really creepy thing happen. That's why I answered like that. Saying it out loud, I felt even more embarrassed. Who in high school gets scared by ghost stories? Ghosts can be scary, so fucking anybody. I glanced over at my sister, who simply sighed. Well, I'm just glad it was nothing. So, why don't you go get changed? Right. Hey, is Mom home yet? Nah, not yet. Looking at her shift, I would have thought she'd be home by now. I see. Maybe there was an emergency. My mom worked as a nurse at the nearby university hospital, and the time she got home varied, depending on her shift. Anyway, I should get changed. Our room is fucking adorable. I like our fucking stained glass window. I don't fucking know why I fucking said fucking room and fucking stained glass. I just realized how absurd it was. I'm like, our room is fucking adorable. I love our fucking stained glass window. And I was like, that's a lot. And that's even for me. It's cute, though. I like it. In my room, I changed out of my school clothes and started to organize my desk when the blank sheet from before fell to the floor. Yikes. I quickly picked up the paper and stashed it in a desk drawer. Your mom's gonna find it. Truthfully, I hadn't mentioned the paper to my sister or Mom yet. If I told Mom about it, she'd... Spacey, can I come in? Yeah, come in. Hey, I got something I want to ask you. It's about my job. I've been put in charge of the store layout, and I've been mulling some things over. It's your day off and you're thinking about work? I'm company property, after all. Just kidding. For me, my job's one of my favorite things, so I can't help but think about it. That sounds just like you. So, what are your big plans for the store layout? See, this is why it's going to be because we have a friend, and our sister's pretty chill and cool. I mean, our mom's probably fine, except for she's like shoving being a doctor onto us, right? So we're not cool with that. But like, and then we're just going to like die? So I was like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, if we're like, nah, I'm just going to be a ghost with my boyfriend, like, that's kind of sad. But I'm okay with it. Hoes before bro. Wait. You know what I mean? Like, because the boys are our hoes and these are our bros. Doesn't really work when they're girls because you can't say bros before hoes because that's exactly what it's supposed to sound like. And that's not the point I'm trying to make. We're trying to be the opposite here, you know? All right. As a high school girl, tell me this. What would you want at the front of the store? Expensive brand stuff or the sale items? Me? I prefer sale items up front. I find it intimidating to walk into stores filled with expensive stuff. Yeah. Oh, I see. Thank you. You've given me a lot to think about. My sister nodded and began jotting something down on her phone. My sister worked as a store clerk at a chain apparel store that was popular with high school girls in the city. She always loved fashion and managed to turn that passion into a job. I often went to her for advice about clothes. In fact, she'd help me pick out most of my wardrobe and cosmetics. It's funny because she's really just wearing a tracksuit. So, like, and that's perfectly fine. I'm wearing lounge clothes right now, but I wouldn't say I'm the epitome of fashion at the moment. I'm just wearing loungy clothes. So I don't know if I'd say, like, I mean, your sister could be like, you know, sport girl chic. But, like, I don't know if I would consider a tracksuit like the epitome of, like, high fashion. Just saying. I'm just saying. But this could just be her chill hanging out at home clothes. Because, like, who the hell wears their really fancy, fun fucking clothes lounging around the house? It's like sometimes I think my sister's family is fucking weird because I'm like, who the hell relaxes in jeans? Like, yeah, you wear jeans to go out, but when you come home, who the fuck lounges around their house in jeans? The most uncomfortable fucking thing ever. What is wrong with you? Put on comfy, frumpy pants. Who the heck, like, what? Why? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying. Like, so, like, I really can't begrudge the girl wearing a comfy tracksuit at home, so, yeah. But good for you. You've said you wanted to try changing the layout of the store for some time. Actually, the fall selection corner I put together recently was really well received, so they asked me to handle this too. So, this is just another dream come true. In that case, I'll come visit the store after you finish the redesign. I'm looking forward to seeing the new clothes you've got there too. Just leave it to me. Speaking of which, you should bring Sayaka. It's been a while since I've seen her. Their voices are too similar, but like, sister doesn't look like she would kind of have this voice, and like, we don't have too many lady voices, and like, we already gave Sayaka like our standard one, so. Yeah, sure, that. Just as I was replying to my sister. Oh. Is that our mom, I'm assuming? Or do we have another sister? She looks pretty young if she's supposed to be our mom. Anyway, I don't know, because I don't want to get... Well, she's got a wedding ring on. So maybe she's our mom. She looks really fucking young, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you saw these two standing next to each other, you'd be like, sport chic as our mom. Maybe it's just the haircut and the sports suit. I don't know. But you know what I mean? Like, they don't look that much... Like, they look like my mom and my aunt. Or like my older sisters, not like one's my mom. Like, okay. Which... Props, because then they didn't make our mom look haggard and old, is all I'm saying. I'm assuming, or Ayame is our other sister, but... Hey, Tsubasa, don't bother Spacey with that right now. I don't know how long my mom... Okay, it is our mom. My mom had been listening, but I turned to see her standing in the doorway. Ayame Ishiki lost her husband early and has been raising her daughters single-handedly, that said. Despite her gentle and calm nature, when it comes to her daughter's future, she becomes rather stubborn and a little too opinionated. I mean, can you almost blame her? Like, she wants the best for her kids. It was probably difficult for her raising 2 kids by herself. Welcome home, Mom. You're home late today. Yes, the person who was supposed to take over for me on the night shift was late because of an emergency. My mom smiled brightly at me before glancing harshly at my sister. She's got an entrance exam next year, you know. Please don't drag her into this right now. Oh, come on. She needs a break, doesn't she? Besides, she's only a second year. You push her too hard now and she'll burn out and then end up with ghost boyfriends. That sounds like a great way to fail. You know, kids as young as first years often start studying for entrance exams. My mom then stared back at me, seeking reassurance. Well, I suppose... In fact, I had been studying to get accepted to Sagan University for quite some time. Spacey's aiming to get into Sagan University. She has to do her best. In response to my mom's proud smile, my sister just shrugged her shoulders. Here we go again. It's fine if that's what Spacey wants, but you really shouldn't push her like that. What are you talking about? We've already discussed this. She wants to go to university. I'm sure part of the reason my mom wanted me to go to medical school was because she was a nurse, but I knew that wasn't the only reason. I had a feeling it also had to do with my father. Hey, is Daddy gonna come home late today too? Yes, it seems that way, but try not to be upset with him. Your father's doing his best to help people, so we have to cheer him on, okay? If our father is a doctor and then had a tragic accident, unless it's not related to his job at all, but you'd think our mother would be, like, not wanting us to be like our father. Why is he helping people? Because that's what doctors do. I was still in kindergarten, so I didn't really understand, but I understood enough to know that I was proud of my father. But shortly after that, we found out that my father was very, very sick. Okay, so it's just random illness. It's not like somebody went in and murdered him or some shit, because whatever. That just actually, like, you want a tragic shit? So there was a cardiologist or, like, a heart surgeon or whatever in Massachusetts, that young doctor, like, had a young, well, like, fairly young, you know what I mean? Had, like, young kids, a wife, whatever, was operating on an older woman who was, like, I think in, like, her 80s or some shit, and the woman didn't make it. But, like, legitimately, when you're that old and you're having heart surgery, you know, whatever. But her son, I guess, was so fucking pissed off and mad, he came in and murdered the doctor. I don't know how the hell he got into the hospital with a gun, but he shot him. And he killed this guy. And this guy was actually one of the very few doctors, I think, in the country that does these certain procedures. So, like, just an absolute, like, gift to humanity. And this fucker killed him because his 80-year-old mother died when it was like, you know the risk. And it's also kind of more fucked up because, like, my father had a heart condition and, like, whatever. And actually, I think was supposed to have an appointment with that doctor, like, months later or something. Or it was one of those, like, he could have possibly gotten in, or it could have been, there's something dealing with that. And it's like, so, like, there's a possibility if that asshole had never killed that doctor, that maybe my father could have gone and seen him or something and gotten a procedure and might not be fucking dead right now. You know what I mean? And you think about that shit and you're like, just because you were pissed off, like, don't get me wrong, like, I can understand being upset, you know, but, like, fuck you. You killed someone who could have saved hundreds of other lives. Your mother was 80 some odd years old. I didn't even know if she was in her age. She could have been older than that. But, like, you knew that there was a possibility she wasn't going to make it. It's not his fault. He wouldn't come in drunk and kill her. It was just something that happens when you're having surgery. You know that can happen when you're having surgery. Hi, your appendix burst. It could fucking kill you. You know what I mean? Like, you could die on the table because of anesthesia that they didn't know you were allergic to. It's not the doctor's fault in every single fucking case. Sometimes, yes, it could be, but it wasn't in this, and it was like one of those, like, So I was wondering, like, that just popped into my head. And I'm like, is this the situation? Like, our father was trying to save someone and it didn't work, and then somebody came and murdered him? Because then why would you want your daughter to be a doctor? But, like, no, it was just dad got sick. It just reminds me of that, and it's like, I don't know. Well, but I guess maybe in our mother's mind, it's like, it's a way for your father to live. You can take after your father. You know what I mean? I don't know. But it is a little weird. Anyway, protagonist's dad, he's nameless. When he was alive, he was a prestigious doctor. When the protagonist was a child, he fell ill and passed away. Because he was always busy with work, he was barely ever home, but the protagonist remembers him to have been a kind father. He fought the disease for about a year before he passed away. It was probably cancer. It kills everybody. That's when Mom started to change. It wasn't that her personality changed so much as she just became super focused on her education, wanting to raise us right by herself. At least, that's what I always thought. I mean, it's kind of what it seems like. And that's how all this talk about my future started. When you were in kindergarten. Damn, lady. Your father was a wonderful doctor, I do like how the colors change and they're not as vivid. They're faded and muted, like for the text box flowers for like the flashbacks. Because I mean that's usually what they do with flashbacks. They're usually sepia toned or they're like faded or whatever. But I just like that the whole text box color changes a lot. He was a truly great person. You should find a job where you can use your talents to help people. I can't think of a more rewarding career. You should become a doctor, too. As a kid, I always just assumed my sister and I would go into medicine, but my sister was different. She had her own path that she wanted to pursue. It was hard, but she finally convinced our mom. Watching her from the sidelines, I was relieved to see I didn't have to go into medicine, because I realized I didn't want to. But it's just too hard to tell her I don't want to go to Sagan University. Sagan University, a college the protagonist's mother has been pushing for her to attend. She assumes the protagonist will enter the medical field. The protagonist doesn't want to, but doesn't have the heart to tell her mother, which is why we end up with ghost boyfriends. But I knew I'd have to tell her eventually, so... Actually, Mom, there's something I have to talk to you about. Oh my, you haven't had dinner yet, have you? I'll whip something up real quick. Oh, let me help out. Please, your offer to help is more than enough. Don't be silly. Come on, let's go. Wait, please don't go into the kitchen. Your cooking is truly, truly terrible. Oh, she's the Van Helsing of the game. Okay, I got it. Subasa's definitely cooking. Well, now we know how we meet our end. Whenever Subasa cooks, she creates an otherworldly item. Not only is it horrible visually, the taste is purely abominable. As the two of them scurried out of the room, all I could do was sigh. I couldn't tell her. That would have been the perfect moment, too. Maybe Subasa fucking kind of understood that and was like, yeah, well, let's just not tell Mom yet. Not sure why she would want you to stop, because it seems like she doesn't want your mother to pressure you into doing these things, but... After we all had dinner, we sat down to watch some TV together and then each took a bath. Before I knew it, it was 11 p.m. I changed into my pajamas and plopped down on the bed. The soft mattress cradled me. I rolled over and stared up at the ceiling, sighing with exhaustion. I feel even more tired than usual today. I couldn't believe exams were already coming up. At school, the teachers were more passionate than ever. The students were all planning to go to college or take over their families' businesses. Even during breaks, everyone seemed to talk excessively about their careers. They were all so eager. I knew that wasn't the only reason I felt so tired. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, bye. A shiver coursed through me, and I snuggled deeper under the blankets. What happened in the hall? It wasn't real. Yes, it was. My vision faded to black, and the embrace of sleep welcomed me. Then, just as I had drifted off, a sudden ringing startled me awake. Someone saying spacey. Huh? It won't be long now. Not long until you... until I invite you into the darkness. You think this might be the secret character saying this? I haven't quite seen them enough to know the voice to give them, but what is this voice? I've only seen like a little snippet, but like they seem more adorable. Like I'm gonna have to look it up. Like we do know. Well, actually, is that the character? Because they don't show pictures or anything. Hmm. Voiced by Sylvie from Human Parasite, actually, though. Yeah, I don't think doing Sylvie's voice would work. Actually, it might. This would be a really good one to do for a creepy voice. Because you're like, this voice. When you fall into the darkness, face it without fear. Could you imagine this adorable voice speaking to you and saying creepy shit to you? Okay, that sounds fun. Within you is the strength to overcome it. I believe in you, Spacey. I was so scared I almost couldn't breathe. I stayed still, unable to move. The voice, it stopped. Mysterious voice. A mysterious voice heard in the protagonist's head while alone in her room. Was it a real voice or merely a dream? The glossary is written in such spooky ways. Look at that. Glossary. My heart thumped loudly in my chest. I wanted to throw off the blanket and run, but no, don't do that because then the monsters under the bed can grab your ankles. You could keep your feet covered and under the blankets. What should I do? I'm too scared to move. I guess we do nothing. The next morning, I'm heading out. I waved casually to my neighbors as I moved through the calm morning air. I tried to act normal, but what was that voice last night? I definitely heard it. Right? When did I fall asleep? When I came to, it was morning. My thoughts raced as I tried to determine if I really had heard that voice or if it was just some kind of dream. Speezy! Ah! Ugh, geez, Sayaka. Don't scare me like that. But good morning. Morning! Sorry about making you walk home alone yesterday. I barely made it to cram school on time. Oh, well, I'm glad you made it. So, did you fill out the college form? No, I'm still thinking it over. I'll look into it after school. You're planning to go to Sagan University, right, Sayaka? Must be nice to have things all figured out. She's like, bitch, do you think I have it figured out? That's what that face says right now. What? Nothing. Hey, I know. How about I help you out after school? I don't have cram school today, so I'm totally free. Huh? Nah, I don't want to trouble you. You should enjoy your time off. Hey, it's not like that. Sayaka's refusal was so strong it caused me to stop dead in my tracks. But if you're with me, I can't get kidnapped by ghosts, girl. Jesus. Well, look, if I can spend some of my free time... and look, if I can spend some of my free time to help you find a good school, that's a good use of my time. I was happy to hear Sayaka's words, but... Thanks, but I'm thinking this is something I need to figure out on my own. This is my future, and if I don't decide it for myself, well, that defeats the whole point. I'll be sure to let you know when I make a decision. Seeing Sayaka look so worried, I tried to change the subject to cheer her up. Right, you were gonna tell me another ghost story, right? Something about a mirror? Oh, right, the grasp of the mirror! She still seemed preoccupied, and though I managed to change the topic, I didn't quite get a smile out of her. Actually, the one that's most popular right now is Spirited Away. There we go. That's the Sayaka I know and love. Spirited Away? You mean like someone vanishing without a trace? Yeah, exactly. There are stories about similar events from all over the country, but... Sayaka opened the memo app on her phone and thrust it in front of me. Spirited Away, Red-Faced Goblin, Witch. Maybe those are all names of our boyfriends. There are many strange terms on the screen I'd never seen before. You never seen Witch? These are all different local legends, but they say... Narimigahama. Narimigahama High! Narimigahama, yeah. Narimigahama is best known as a hotspot for getting spirited away. Over 1.9 times the national average, and there was a big spike after the war in 1949. I heard that 7 people went missing all at once. It was huge news back then. Are all of her boyfriends from 1949? Because that'd be weird. I had certainly found a topic to fire her up. Maybe I should have chosen something else. Hey, are you listening? Huh? Oh, yeah, for sure. The part about 7 people disappearing, right? No, we're past that. I was saying that confused or struggling people are more likely to get spirited away. And I'm definitely very confused and struggling. Valid. Spirited away. Across the world, legends tell of people disappearing or being spirited away, and Narimigahama is no exception. Those who are the victims of such disappearances are said to be mentally stressed. Goblin King, please come take this child away from... I don't have a child to take away, so that's, that's why Jarrett the Goblin King has never taken me. But I'm just saying, that's kind of like being spirited away, right? Into a labyrinth with talking worms and, like, Muppets. Oh, I completely missed that. Or in this case, hot ghost boyfriends. Whatevs. I'm not complaining. A man in a moving castle. Whatevs. Tax evasion. Fine, sign me up. You think you'll be okay? You're struggling with your future plans, aren't you? Her words took me by surprise. I'll be fine. I don't really believe in any of that stuff anyway. Aw, that's no fun. She's over there like, I'm pretty sure you're going to get spirited away, and I'll be like sad but kind of excited. Good friend? Question mark, I guess. It was the truth, though. I didn't believe it. Well, maybe just a tiny bit. Somewhere deep inside, a struggle, huh? I was skeptical, but I couldn't ignore the fact that I was indeed confused and struggling to find a path forward. Hey, what about this one? The tale of the girl who awoke the 7 wonders at her school and was spirited away. Oh, I haven't heard that one. Is it a local legend, too? Which school is it about? Well, it's not exactly local. I found it online, but the post didn't specify a location. That sounds like us, but also aren't there 9? Anyway. Leaning in closer, Sayaka's face was nearly touching mine. The 7 wonders, they're phenomena that defy reality and invade the mortal realm. Well, that's true. There's 7 wonders at our school, but there's 9 when 9 would be the voice that we hear that's probably sucking us into all this, so that's the secret finale kind of route. But then who's 8? Because there's not 8 wonders, there's 7. So, interesting. If they were all discovered, they could break the fabric of reality itself. Well, I'm going to discover them. Hell yeah. I don't think she means discover them like that, but I do. You look out and see it. An eerie color, crimson red, spreading its wings around this world. Then it's all over. You can't go back to the world you know. You're trapped in the crimson forever. Instinctively, I gulped. That's what the story says anyway. Want to check it out sometime? I'd rather not, thanks. I like how she's like, it's all dark and evil. You want to go? Sounds awesome. Girl crazy. All right, well, we're going to stop here. I'm having a good time already. We're having fun here. So anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.